and Randy Moss, without even really being able to run, as he shoots the moon to the
pass, pumps to the left, 8 seconds left. He gets away from the pressure, fires to the end zone. It's caught! It's Greg Lewis! Oh my heavens! Greg Lewis's first catch has given the Minnesota. Ball's out, picked up by the Vikings. Chelsea getting ready to throw for the race. Way off Chelsea. No flags. Touchdown Minnesota.
Four, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Hey, what's up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to another episode of House Calls with Skull Doc, brought to you by Minnesota Sports Talk. Joining me as always is Dave, and we are breaking down the Minnesota Fighting Vikings taking on the Jacksonville Jaguars today in Dave's home state of Florida. Well, not home state, but where you reside now.
Adopted state.
Man, this should be a fun one. All signs are pointing to an ass whooping that the Vikings are about to lay down. But you know what they say: when you assume things, you make an ass out of you and me, right?
Yep.
But what are
More
you thinking?
Than me, though.
What are you thinking, Dave? We'll get to our picks later on, but I'm expecting some just pure domination today.
I think it will be like Indy, but with the score this time.
Yeah.
I feel like they're a little more better offensively. It was dependent on the quarterback, but how much of a drop off is Mac Jones? I don't know. He did have 380 yards against the Donashell defense on Thanksgiving 2 years ago, but coming off the bench like this, no prep, just a week preparation to be the starter. This is just a recipe of disaster for Jacksonville. It couldn't be any better of a scenario for us, I feel.
I agree. And Mac Jones, historically terrible against the blitz, by the way. So have fun, Brian Flores. Let's look at their offensive numbers here to date. So total yards, the Jaguars are 21st in the league offensively. Passing yards, they're 17th. Rushing yards, they're 22nd. Points, they're 18th, and third down percentage, they're 30th. So bottom third of the league for most of those statistics offensively. Listening to their beat reporters talking with Matthew Collar this week, it seems like the offensive identity is that they are just inconsistent. They'll go on these drives where they're explosive, they look good, but then they just can't capture that for a long period of time. But with Mac Jones as their quarterback, Mac is a guy who can operate a quick timing-based passing game, but he does not have a good deep ball, does not have good arm strength, and he is not good against the blitz. So I am expecting multiple turnovers, maybe even a Vikings defensive touchdown in this game. I think the Vikings defense is just going to roll on this Jaguars offense. Yeah,
I like how healthy we're going to be going into this game. Oh, did not practice. Okay, this is just rest. Yeah, Stephon Gilmore's rest. Yeah. We just keep resting. They didn't rest last week. That's what scared me. Stephon Gilmore and Harrison Smith are just the two old fogies that they let hang out every other week, I guess. They practiced last week, but not this week. Really, only Gabriel Murphy, really. I think they got him as questionable, but the only concern we would probably have, but I don't think the game's going to be close enough, is the fact that we got a new kicker and a new long snapper for this game. But yeah, like you said, I think two things. We continue to what we do offensively last week, except we'll score more. It'll show up on the scoreboard, and defensively we'll get to the quarterback instead of just the last drive. We gave, like you said, this last show we did on Thursday, is we did get to the quarterback. We did pressure him. But we didn't get to him until I think 3 sacks on the last drive or something like that. So I think it'll be more of the same, except we'll actually get to him a few times. And the fact that he's the backup, not a super old veteran like they had in Indy, but a guy that's really trying to get back in the good graces in the NFL. And sometimes those guys take chances or hold the ball too long.
Yeah, and their offensive line is banged up. Ezra Cleveland is out with a high ankle sprain. They're starting their third string left guard in this game. They're starting their backup left tackle after trading Cam Robinson, and Walker Little is very up and down, especially in the passing game with his pass blocking. So I think that the Vikings defensive line is going to eat against this team. And then looking at the Jaguars defensive statistics, they are 31st in the league with giving up 403 yards per game. Passing yards, they are 31st, giving up 264 passing yards per game. I believe Sam Darnold's line is set just under that, so setting up pretty good for Sam Darnold to have a great day. Rushing yards, they are tied for 16th, giving up 125 yards on the ground. Points, they are 30th, giving up 28 points a game. And third down percentage, they are 26th. So nothing looks good in their defense there.
And you and I both think that in the second half, Aaron Jones is going to be unleashed. We're going to be running the ball with the lead, which again suits well against this defense. And then I just all around our offense is going to just be on fire. I think the first half, and then we're going to just wear them down the second half with the running game. I think we both kind of agreed on that off the air, but it's just going to be a good day all around. This is a day for Sam Darnold. Just don't make a mistake. I just got done watching the mic'd up of Kevin O'Connell, which is awesome. I love this guy. He's my forever coach. But Sam Darnold threw that interception in the beginning of the game. He didn't get pissed off at him. He just dude, we were in field goal range. Be smart. Okay, be field goal range. Be smart. That's all he said to him. Walks off the sideline. Play another day, kind of thing. Sam Darnold, I think, takes this is coachable. Is going to take this. He's not going to make that same mistake again. I hope.
Yeah, he will. That's just his DNA, dude. He's going to be doing that.
Okay, he will. But hopefully one less time than he did this last game.
Yeah. One of my favorite sayings is, if it was Spear, it would have killed him, right? When they put it on the money. That would have killed two defenders.
Yeah.
Right through the first one, through the second one. That was just a bad interception.
This is so bad. Well, both of them are so bad.
I told people coming into this game that this is one of those games where the only way that I see them losing this game is if they give up the ball multiple times, they let the Jaguars defense score once or twice, and they just completely beat themselves.
Or like a muff punt. They get the ball short fields.
Exactly.
Just a complete disaster.
Yes. Right now, the Vikings are a 7-point favorite in Jacksonville. The over-under is 43.5, which has an implied point total very low for Jacksonville, about 14 to 17 points, somewhere in there.
That's right at the score I'm going to pick.
Yeah. So this is one of those games where it's like, just take care of business. Don't turn the football over. If it's a little bit ugly here and there, so be it. Just make them work for it to get the win. The Vikings are just the better team here. The Jaguars are 2-7. They've shown a little bit of fight here and there, but last week they got rolled by the Eagles early. They kind of backdoored themselves into a close game with the Eagles, but they're not.
They let Jalen Hurts look good.
Yeah, they're just not a good football team. And next week we have the Titans, who they do have a better defense than Jacksonville. So I think, if one of these games is going to be a trap game, it's probably the Titans game more so than this game. I think the Vikings should just kick ass today.
Yeah, I mean, it reminds me 2 years ago we came down to Miami. We gave up a lot of yards in that game, but we did not have the defense we have now. So I feel like, and it's not as hot up in Jacksonville as it is down here, and that really hurt us that game. It was 120 degrees on our sideline.
They make you wear the purple. They put you in the sun.
You wear the purple, and but in Jacksonville, not a big fan base. Miami's not that big a fan base either, I feel. But I think it's another game we'll travel well to.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just of any road game, this is probably the road game I'd be the most bullish on.
Yeah, I agree. And we'll pick the game later, but I'm surprised that the line is right now only at 7 points. And I think it started at 4.5 or something when they thought Trevor Lawrence was going to play. But I just see the Vikings winning by at least 10.
I would take the Vikings on that. I'll put some money down on that.
Yeah, for sure.
I might have to, and we only have one app we can use in Florida because the Seminole Indian tribe control all gambling down here. So it's the Hard Rock app. I'm gonna have to open that up and put some money down. I feel that bullish about this game.
So looking at some individual performances, and we'll get into our pick six in a little bit. I think Sam Darnold is set up for a big day. I'm talking upwards of 250 plus passing yards, 3 passing touchdowns type of day. This is just a very poor defense, and they like to play man coverage more than most NFL teams. Justin Jefferson kills.
That's a mistake.
He kills man coverage. And then they have linebackers who aren't great at covering tight ends. So TJ Hawkinson could be more involved. I think he's going to get more and more snaps as we go on. So he could have a great game as well. So I think it's going to be an exciting game for us, man. Just dominant. I think it's going to be a dominant football game. It's going to be a lot of fun for us.
Yeah. And one good thing here, I see Blake Cashman is a full practice. They still have him as questionable, but that seems like he's playing.
Oh, he's playing. They've come out and they've said that he's playing. So he talked about it. It's a painful injury, turf toe, but it's more so the lack of explosion that you have, because when you lose that big toe joint extension, you don't have that force, because he described it as a closed kinetic chain, meaning that without your big toe, you're not going to generate the force with your calf, right, to cause that explosion and then ultimately lead to the big muscles in your leg, the quad, hamstrings, to allow you to shift directions on a dime and do the things that you need to do on the field. That's why it took so long. So the fact that he's now ready to go is a great sign heading into the part of the schedule here where, not to say that we're going to need him, but it'll be nice to have him back, because we've seen 2 games without him, 2 losses in a row. He's a big difference when he's off the field. As that green dot signal caller, he makes a huge difference.
I think it makes a huge difference too. And I was looking at this play where I don't know why he didn't throw it. Indy's quarterback didn't throw it to the guy out in the flat. Well, Ivan Pace Jr. is out there giving the guy a 10-yard cushion.
Mm-hmm.
And he's got, so I'm just like, I don't think Cashman gives that guy a 10-yard cushion and makes that win and covers that guy. But thank goodness they didn't throw it to him, and then Hitman knocked the ball loose from the receiver. But they had a guy wide open. The guy that was supposed to be covering was Ivan Pace Jr., and I don't know what he was doing. So I just feel like Cashman is going to be better at that.
As dominant as the Vikings defense was,
it's all about the science on this channel. Minnesota Sports Talk Science.
Yes, sir. That's what you get. Going back to the Colts game, Andrew Kramer was talking with Matthew Collar, and Collar asked Kramer what he thought, or you know what, I think it might have been Ben Gessling. My bad, it was Ben Gessling. And he thought, do you think the defense showed that it's completely fixed after those 2 down weeks against Detroit, against the Rams? And his answer was yes and no. He was at the game, so he could see the defense and how these guys were covered in the secondary. He said there were still pretty massive gaps, and especially in the middle of the field, that Flacco just wasn't hitting. And he thinks that Cashman coming back is going to solve that. Yeah. I mean, you go back to the Packers game. Remember that, like, those plays where Cashman, and even the Niners game, when Cashman's in there, he's taking a lot of that middle stuff out. He has a great knack for, in live speed, live time, reading the route concepts and finding the area where they're trying to attack. And that's not Ivan Pace's game. Ivan Pace, long. Yeah. And, Ivan Pace is a junkyard dog that you send him through the line, he's going to blow up the running back and try to pressure the quarterback, right? Like, he's the quarterback spy. He's a blitzer at heart. He's not a coverage guy. I don't know if he ever will be. I don't know if he's got the length for it.
Yeah, I mean, his limitations. And those were obvious coming out of the draft, and half the reason why he didn't get drafted.
Right.
He was still probably, if you go look at him, like, why didn't he get drafted? At least in the top 5 rounds of that draft, for sure. But Cashman been everything he's more than what I've ever hoped for in a linebacker.
Hell yeah.
I mean, I feel like he's as good, if not better, than Kendrick in his prime, the way he was playing this year. So as good as Kendrick ever played, that was Cashman playing, I think, this year.
I agree. He's playing that damn well.
God knows what he's doing now. I remember he had like
he's with Dallas.
They had a game with the Cowboys this year. They had like 2 interceptions and a sack. It was crazy.
Yeah, man. Great game for him. I don't think he's having a great season by any means, but
I don't think anybody in Dallas is having a great season.
Anthony Barr is not playing with anybody, right? As of right now, he's out of the league.
Yeah, I
think
so.
he's out.
I haven't seen
him. Let's talk about another guy in offense. So Aaron Jones. What type of game do you see Aaron Jones having?
Steady first half, and then we're gonna lean on him a second. He's gonna catch some balls. He had 4 last week. Not for a lot of yards, but he'll have some catches. He'll have a real steady first half. I think we'll mix in a second running back, and he won't have a ton of yards in the first half, but I'm thinking 100 yards this game, and it's all because of we were leaning on him in the second half to run this game out.
Yeah, it just feels like it's been a while.
And he's gonna break one.
Had 100-yard. That's a good point too. It's been a while since he's had that 100-yard game, and since he's actually broken a long run. I do feel though that the Vikings are going to have quite the lead in the second half, and they may lean on Cam Akers for a few drives, and we could see him rested in the second half as they try to keep him healthy for the rest of the season.
Well, one of the things is KOC likes getting him a 100-yard game. So
yeah,
if he's close, I think he's going to keep him out there a little bit.
I agree. This just feels like a game too where Justin Jefferson is going to eat. I think this is one where JJ gets like 150.
Well, and because of Jamar Chase just had, set the league on fire this last week in a loss, of course.
Yep.
Yeah, he's going to want to outdo his friend, but I feel like it doesn't matter as much to Justin as it does to Chase, right? If I feel like for Justin, it's about, hey, I want to get this win. Jamar Chase is a lot more about himself than Justin is.
Did Chase get paid? I don't think he did. Jamar Chase?
I don't think so.
Yeah, so they have that to look forward to as well. He wanted like the 1 penny more than Justin.
Oh, he literally he asked if because it was the rumor, right?
Yeah.
And then they asked him up front, no, I'm not going to get 1 penny. I'm going to beat the shit out of him.
Oh, yeah.
Remember that?
He wants a ton more. You're right. Good luck with that. Good luck.
I'm like, what a thing to say. You guys are buds, man.
Yeah. How concerned are you about the kicking situation?
If it was any other game, probably pretty bad. I don't know anything about this guy. I remember him being a kicker in this league, but honestly, more so the snapper.
Yeah.
I think a kicker could always kicking, right?
Yeah.
But you put a long snapper into a game situation, I was like, hey, but if Jared Allen could do it, then this guy could do it.
Yeah. So it's funny because throughout the season, I was like, I need one of these specialists replaced. It's Ryan Wright. I need the punter replaced, right? And then he's the only guy left at this point in time.
And he's having a pretty decent year.
He you know what? He has come back.
It's a huge rebound from last year. It's not as good as his rookie year, but
he's still not good though, pinning that ball in the 20. He's still not good. He put one in the end zone last game too. So he's got to figure that out. But I agree with you that this game doesn't feel like a big deal to me. John Parker Romo, I believe is his name. He does have a big leg. I think they're just going to tell him to kick it out of the end zone every kickoff. We're not going to worry about that.
Which we do every week.
Yeah, we do that every week, and it's anticlimactic. I really thought that Matt Daniels, our special teams coordinator was excited and was going to draw up some stuff on that, but apparently the strategy mostly across the league is just kick it out of the end zone.
And give him at the 30.
Yeah. I'd like to see the NFL move it up to the 35 and see if that changes anything. That's just my opinion, to see if we can get a few more returns. I think that might be the threshold there where they're like, okay, now we're pushing it. 35 starting field position. But anyways, going back to John Parker Romo, he's got a leg. So that's nice that you have a guy who has the potential to make some 50 plus. But I really think the Vikings are going to try to stay away from destroying that dude's confidence over the next 4 weeks and probably keep it a little bit more conservative in terms of field goals and going for it and whatnot. But one thing to keep in mind, Vikings fans, is that Will Reichard is coming back in 4 weeks. He's going to miss 4 games, and then he will be back. And this type of quad strain typically heals fine throughout the month. So he should be back 100%.
You feel like DL because it was like, just precautionary, that not just sit him a week kind of thing. It was more like, you know what? We're 6-2. Let's just be precautionary.
Yeah, it's an injury that usually takes a solid 4 weeks to come back from. So
okay, so it is more of a.
It was going to take time to get better, and they just wanted to play it careful. And there's no reason.
He was still kicking it out of the back of that end zone, which is great.
Yeah, but it hurts. You can see how bad it hurts. So they're going to do right by him and rest him for 4 weeks. Now we got the Jaguars, the Titans, the Bears, and the Cardinals, I believe, are the 4 games that we will miss Will Reichard, and then he should be back for the Atlanta game. Yeah. So should we get into our picks here?
Yeah, let's do it.
Let's pick it. You go first. And
Here we go. So Justin Jefferson, 91.5. I picked the over because, again, I think coming off of Jamar Chase, the fact, like you said, man-to-man defense, I heard about that already. I was like, he's going to eat. He's going to eat big. Already Darnold leans on him way too, probably almost too much, especially with that second pick he threw in that last game. He's going to eat. It might be another one where he's close to this, if not over it in the first half. Yeah. And then we're running the ball a second. So I don't think it's going to be a 200-yard game or 180 or whatever, but it's definitely going to, I think, be over 100. And he's going to get targeted a lot in that first half.
I agree with you. I think that you're going to see one of those deep crossers hit, and he'll take it. He'll house it. I think it's going to be one of those types of games. If they're going to play that man covered single high safety, he's going to burn them. So it's a big game for Justin coming up. And,
to shout out to Sam Darnold when he threw that fly route and just, dropped it over the defender and, late, receivers talk about having late hands,
mm-hmm.
And Justin catching that ball contested and getting down, I think it was to the 1 yard line. This guy, I don't know. Justin Jefferson is just always getting stopped at the 1 yard line in his career. So
seriously,
it would be nice that, like you said, he takes a crosser and houses it, get it out of the way. He's only, 5 touchdowns this year. It feels like he should have more.
Yeah.
But we got Aaron Jones here. I'm probably more bullish on him than you. Like you said, it does make sense that Cam Akers comes in and takes yardage from him. But tell me what you think.
Yeah, I was a little worried about going on the over for this one just because I can see this as a game that gets out of hand quickly for the Jaguars, and the Vikings do lean on the run. But like I said, I could see Cam Akers kind of being the guy that spells Aaron for drives at a time where they just rotate drives. And I think that they ultimately want to rest Aaron Jones as much as they can so that he's healthy for the playoffs. So that might be something to watch out for. And I just feel like we've seen Aaron hitting the under a lot this season so far, where he has a lot of all-purpose yards with receptions, but he's not getting the rushing yards per se. With that said, just because of the game script, I do think that he goes over, like you said. I think this is a game where the Vikings probably get up in the first quarter, 14-0 really quickly, and then we just see a lot of running the air out of the ball.
And I took the under last week, got it. I thought he would, I was worried he might get a ding, and he did a little early, but he came back. He ended up getting like 64 yards or something like that. I just feel like he might have 30, 40 yards this first half, but I feel like he's going to break one and be leaned on in the second half. But even though he gets spelled like 2 series or maybe the last series of the game, I don't know. He I think he'll get close to 100 yards, like I said earlier, and then they would give him the ball just to get that 100 or try to get that 100. But yeah, next is Jordan Addison. And I chose the over on this. I just feel like there's gonna be enough to go around. I don't think Justin's gonna eat it all up. I think Addison's gonna get his, and again, he could just get one catch and get this.
Yeah.
So I feel like if he gets 3 catches, he's easy got this. And like you said, man to man, you said Justin Jefferson's good against man to man. So is this dude. So, and again, safeties are going to be leaning on Justin more than this guy. So that's why I think.
Yeah, I don't feel like strong conviction on this under that I chose for Addison. To be honest, I just need to start picking a little bit different than you on some of these to try to catch up. Because every point that you just made is correct. Now, if there's one guy where Sam Darnold continually avoids him, it's Addison. So we might see a little bit of that. Another line of thinking for this was that we may be running the ball a little bit more this game if we have a lead. And also TJ Hawkinson's going to see snap increase. So he may be a little bit more used in the offense as well. Addison's been pretty close to his lines as of late, which have been kind of hovering around 40 yards a game. This is a bad defense, so if I had to put actual money on it, I would take the over. Just hoping to snag one from you here.
Yeah, it's getting mid-season, going to strategize.
Yep.
And honestly, I think you should have went with the under with Jones because there's more potential for injury there.
That's a good point.
But TJ Hawkinson, what do you think about TJ Hawkinson?
Yeah, like I just said, I think that his snaps are going to see an uptick. This Jaguars defense is not good. The linebackers do not cover well in man-to-man coverage, which they like to play. So I think this is an opportunity for TJ Hawkinson to get 7-8 balls this game at 7 to 10 yards a pop. Easily beat this over-under. Easy over for me.
Yeah, and even if he got like 5 catches, I thought he was on his way to go in the over last week, but when the dust settled, he was only like 27 yards.
Yeah.
It's like I expected a little more from him, but he only got 20 snaps, and thank God we got Oliver had the game of his Vikings career for us, and that was a nice little clinching touchdown by him. We might have wanted to put Oliver on this. Nah, TJ Hawkinson's gonna start getting some more snaps. We didn't. I don't think either of us really believed that he was gonna play the whole game like we were led to believe. Like he's fully ready to go and no restrictions. No, he played only 20 snaps, but that's pretty good amount of catches he got for only playing 20 snaps. You give him 40. Yeah, this guy's going over.
Yeah.
Now, Mac Jones, 206. They're just going to have to throw the ball, trying to catch back up. And he threw for 380 or something like that against us on Thanksgiving. He's fully capable of throwing the ball. So I just figured it's going to be a counting stat for him this game.
206 is just a very, very low number. And Mac Jones did throw against an Ed Donachelle defense, looked pretty good against that defense. He's not going to look good against Brian Flores. I guarantee you that. With that said, this is not a tough bar to clear. 206 yards. He's going to clear it. Out of necessity, they're going to have to throw the ball. I think he's going to throw 2 or 3 picks while he's trying to do it, but he'll clear 206.
And you got Sam Darnold.
Yeah, I mean, we've talked about it during the show here that I think he's set up for a huge day. This is a defense that gives up over 250 passing yards a game. Sam Darnold is in a prime position to just go off today.
Yeah, I feel like we're going to have just every drive is not all of them are going to be, 3, 4, 5 first downs at least. in the first half. He's going to accumulate a lot of yards in that first half. He won't have to do much the second. I don't think either of us think he's going to blow this number out of the water per se. The 3 touchdowns, yeah. Will he go over 300? I don't think he's done that yet, right?
I don't think so.
Yeah, so I'm thinking, 260, 270, 3, I was thinking more like 2 touchdowns. But yeah, I could see 3. Because he's easily done that in the past, and we do like to throw the ball when we're in the red zone.
Right.
So I'm not against that for sure. I don't call this an easy over, but because of the fact that we might be so far ahead that we run the ball a lot that second half.
Right.
But I feel like he got so much of it the first half that it won't take much to get it the second.
Yeah, I agree. Well, let's pick the game.
And just rub it in. Dave's 18, 12 to 14.
I can catch up.
You can catch up. All right. Picking the game. I'll go first. This is your show. Daniel Jeremiah, again, has not picked us. So, of course, we're going to win. I think JD is the only guy that picked him, and that's because he's a homer.
Yeah.
Daniel Jeremiah, I think, picked us as like a 2-score victory. I'm a 3-score victory on this. I'm 31-13.
Yeah.
I don't think we're gonna go. We just don't score a lot of points. We just don't. We don't want to go up. We don't want to go to 40. That's
right.
If we do that, people might like us. We don't want people to like us. So 31-18.
Yeah.
Or 13. 31-13, 18-point victory.
I'm gonna go 28-12, and all those Jaguars points are on field goals. They don't score a touchdown all day.
I gave him 1 touchdown. But I feel like it'd be a lot like Indy, where they don't score offensive touchdowns, but they sneak one in.
All right. Well, it's going to be a fun one today, Vikings fans. We'll catch you after the game. So we're going to go live on Tuesday night. What time are we going live, Dave? I think we decided it was going to be
8:45 Central.
Okay, 8:45 Central time, Tuesday night. So come join us and ask some questions.
All right. Let's go Vikes.
Let's go
Big
Vikes.
win today.
Better